they're pushing it, but they don't have to live here, you know, and they're taking something from us and they're basically giving it away to another country, you know, and then we suffer. It just doesn't seem right. Like, I don't know, there's got to be a better way. You know, technology today is amazing. So they've got to be able to find a better way to deal with this. And just be good if they listen to us. Because I'm not going away. This is my home.
It really hits home for a lot of people when you stand and show them the level of the water, and they can see, you know, they're seeing it. It really, I think, is the best way to educate them. But you can't get everybody up here to do that. But it sure impacts the people that come up here and stand here and, you know, see it that way.
Yeah, like all these signs that are posted in the valley. That's just since last spring.
Well, tell us about the signs.
Well, it kind of started with members of the PVA. You know, what could we do? And this issue of signs come up. So as individuals and a group, we started putting these signs up in the valley. And the one of them, like Arlene's referring to, is the water flood level signs. And they're posted, as you drive through the valley here, they're posted to indicate approximate level of where the water is going to be. And we've had tremendous response from those signs mainly because it just shocks people that, you know, where the water is going to be, how much is going to be lost.
It's interesting, that dam at the Bennett Dam, some of the people, when they go on the tour, as they're driving through the valley, they're seeing the signs, Site C sucks, the flood level, no Site C, and they're seeing these signs all the way, and then when they get to the Bennett Dam, they always ask the tour guide, you know, what's all those signs about? And they, you know, it hits reality of what's going to happen in the valley. So it's really educated a lot of people with them up there.
An organization with its ear to the ground, the Yellowstone to Yukon Conservation Initiative has a vested interest in the fight against Site C because it directly affects what they are trying to protect, a migratory route consisting of 5 states, 2 provinces, and 2 territories. It's 3,200 kilometers long and 1.2 million kilometers square. Their mission is to maintain and restore this unique heritage known as the Yellowstone to Yukon region.
There's a number of species that use the Yellowstone to Yukon corridor as a migratory corridor at various different scales. The key to the Peace River Break area is that it connects what we call the Canadian Rocky Mountain Parks Complex, which is Banff, Jasper, Yoho, Kootenay, to the Muskoka-Kechika Management Area and other robust areas to the north. So it's actually the narrowest part of the Yellowstone to Yukon region. It's a pinch point. And if the Site C dam goes in, what it will do is it'll actually create, along with the reservoir that the W.A.C. Bennett Dam has created, it'll create a large kind of break in connectivity between the southern portion of Waidawi and the northern portion of Waidawi.
In the spring of 2006, while brainstorming for ideas on how to make themselves heard, a member of the PVEA suggested a paddle on the Peace, a scenic tour of what is at stake, along with a feast hosted by the West Moberly First Nations. The beauty of this idea is that it's a proactive rally, showcasing the valley while bringing attention to the area.
If I could make every politician come and sit here and spend a night just sitting on the banks of the river, or come fishing with me, I think if the politicians came here with an open heart rather than an open wallet, I think that would make a big difference. But they won't. Yeah. You know, they don't want to leave Victoria or Prince George or wherever they are. No. Yeah. I think they just want to get their name on something. Right. And I suggest they just make a big ass bronze statue of themselves, put a name on it, and stick it in Victoria somewhere and call her good.
Yeah, they're still named BC Hydro, and that means building power dams. You know,
They're not BC Energy, they're BC Hydro.
The Peace River people are saying it's in our backyard, but it's to serve where? It's to serve Vancouver. Let's look at options that are closer to where the load is rather than putting them all in the Peace, whichever option it is, and then sending the power somewhere.
You know, and they clearly show they have no interest in listening to us. Right? They just want to go through the motions and show people that, you know, we made the attempt, but at the end of the day, we're going to do what we want. You know, and so here we are at Panel of the Peace, you know, doing things like this. What I've seen here today gives me a lot of hope. Last year was our first year doing this. We had 101 boats on the water. It was relatively just kind of a, you know, let's do something. What can we do that's not in your face, blocking a road or something, but out on the water showing there are people that have concerns about the province's decisions of how they're going to develop. You know, the flooding of a valley like this is almost criminal, I would think. You know, it's some of the last land that we have for farming, ranching, the ability for First Nations to continue a way that they were promised they would be able to continue. Understanding that development happens, right? And we have to find ways of working with that and progressing forward. But you need to find the balance. Right? Site C is not a balance. It's not even close to being a balance. Right?
My mother's father, my grandfather, was actually, I guess I'll say it, a victim of BC Hydro's land acquisition policies. He had a place on the Upper Peace that was flooded out by what we call the Big Dam, but the W.A.C. Bennett Dam and the Williston Reservoir. And he was offered a compensation package for it, which was, he figured, way too low. First of all, he didn't want to give up the place, and it was sort of his summer recreation place. And so he argued it and ended up in court with them for 2 or 3 years. And in the end, I think he got, I want to say, 3 times as much as what they offered for him. But my grandfather was getting on in years, and the fight, I think, just broke his spirit. He wasn't with us too long after that, and it was just it was sort of the place that he'd kind of dreamed, spent all his life to acquire, and he eventually was spending all his quality time up there in the later years, and Hydro took that away from him, and he didn't really have much to live for after that. And so we have some family history on dealing with some of those issues, and it was tough. It's tough personally for people that are affected by these mega projects or whatever, and you know, irregardless of whether it's right or wrong, ways of life that get changed are irreversible, and there's some real tragedies there. So.